This is beyond parody. Donald Trump is having such trouble doing like normal interviews lately that he is increasingly relegated to doing whack job interviews. The latest is with conspiracy theorist Dinesh D'Souza, and it is quite frankly beyond parody. Dinesh D'Souza is increasingly a darling of the conspiracy right that believes Donald Trump was actually the winner of the 2020 election. Dinesh D'Souza made the film 2000 Mules. This is a completely farcical, obviously completely debunked film that makes almost unfalsifiable claims based on mobile phone geolocation data to argue that because there were people with mobile phones more or less near ballot drop boxes at different times of day during the early voting period in 2020, it is clear that they were carrying like mules. Remember, that's the idea. They were mules for thousands or tens of thousands of fraudulent ballots that they were doing massive dumps with into the drop boxes. There's no evidence for any of it. Widely debunked. Watch the film if you want to blow 2 hours and then research each of the claims, and you will find that it is vacant and vapid. But Trump loves it. So Trump agreed to be interviewed by Dinesh D'Souza. And Donald Trump's lies are getting more and more sick and more disconnected from reality, if you can imagine that. In this first clip, Donald Trump claims some people voted 28 times on the same day in 2020. This is a claim for which there is no evidence. There isn't a little evidence. There isn't some evidence. There is no evidence for this claim. And Dinesh D'Souza just nods along.
And then, of course, they voted 6, 7, 8 times, as much as they could in the local area. Some of the people went back, I guess they said 28 times in one day to vote at different places with, numerous votes. But they can't put in 1,000 because it wouldn't be it wouldn't look right.
Right. They voted 28 times because voting 1,000 times would raise suspicions, but voting 28 times was fine. Under whose names? They never answer that question. Just the most fundamental. If I, David Pakman, try to vote 28 times in 28 different places, at each place I have to give some name, and it has to be someone who hasn't already voted, but's registered in that particular precinct. How would I get the names? What names did I give? They don't tell us. No, the people voted 28 times.
They're very smart. They go in with 5 votes, 6 votes, 7 votes, and then they go to another one. But it adds up to millions of votes.
Yeah, absolutely delusional. And again, it's the blind leading the blind. Dinesh D'Souza just nodding along. In the next clip, Donald Trump raises the conspiracy theory that William Barr, his own attorney general, this is not, Merrick Garland, Trump's own attorney general, William Barr, covered up the election fraud because of fear he had of Democrats.
It was wonderful. They didn't even do checking. Bill Barr was afraid to be impeached. He was petrified of being impeached.
And look at Dinesh D'Souza nod along to something so completely absurd. When William Barr had almost no time left in this office at the time that he refused to participate in the lies and the delusions. Why would that be William Barr's fear in November, December, and January of 2020 and 2021, respectively?
The Democrats said they were going to impeach him. They went very big on the impeachment thing with him. And all of a sudden, we have an attorney general who is afraid to talk about, he's saying, the election was just wonderful. And it wasn't.
William Barr was in the George H.W. Bush administration much earlier in his career. He didn't seem afraid of anybody or anything there. And then he had a lot of work that he did in the private sector. And you would think if he had a time to be afraid of Democrats when it might have damaged his future private industry career, it would have been when he was working for George H.W. Bush. And he wasn't afraid then. Why would he be afraid at the end of 2020, the start of 2021, near the end of his career? It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And then lastly, Donald Trump saying, Fox News is not what it used to be. But listen carefully to the language he uses.
Talking about.
It's much different than it was when I first ran Fox. I will tell you, it's a lot different.
talking about.
Fox has changed. Fox is not doing for Trump. When he first ran, and I know it sounds like Trump is saying when I first ran Fox. What he means is when I first ran, Fox was different. What Trump means is what was ultimately a 100% sycophant brown-nosing channel, Fox News, is now only about 90% there, leaving themselves the escape hatch, the eject button, in case Ron DeSantis or someone else ultimately becomes the nominee. But that means you are on Trump's naughty list. You're no longer on the nice list. What a pathetic interview. And Trump reduced to being interviewed by Dinesh D'Souza. What a just totally humiliating display. And as usual, Trump only wants friendly interviews. And if it's anything but friendly, sometimes he'll hang up. Remember with NPR, he'll attack the interviewer. The right way is to ask Trump the questions, tee up softballs for him to knock out of the park with lies, and then just nod. Dinesh D'Souza really, the right likes to use the term NPC. Dinesh D'Souza really playing the NPC. Folks, remember that our YouTube channel is heading towards 2 million subscribers. This is an insane number for a little old show like ours. And the most important piece of data I have for you, we have nearly 3 million existing viewers who aren't subscribed. And as I've been talking about this, more and more of them email me and they say, David, I watch you every day. I checked. I'm not a subscriber. I didn't need to subscribe. YouTube was already feeding me all your videos. Very, very important. If you were one of these, we call them the 2.8ers. There's about 2.8 million people last month who watched our videos but are not subscribed on YouTube. You can help us get to the 2 million subscriber number like tomorrow. If just you fine folks who watch but don't subscribe were to hit that subscribe button, we could be there overnight. YouTube.com/The David Pakman Show. Subscribe free. It is free, and I will address this in the voicemail segment today. We'll take a quick break and be right back. When you're busy during the day and you need a quick snack, sometimes you're just in the mood for something sweet. That's when I reach for Munk Pack. Our sponsor, Munk Pack, offers gooey granola bars that melt in your mouth, as well as nut and seed bars that are perfectly crunchy, sweet, and salty. But the best part is that each bar is plant-based with only 1 gram of sugar, 2 to 3 net carbs, and only about 150 calories. It's great if you're doing keto or low carb, or like me, you just want to minimize your sugar intake. I can't get enough of dark chocolate cocoa. I'm just a chocolate guy. It's great. But they come in other flavors too, like sea salt, dark chocolate, caramel sea salt. They just launched peanut butter cocoa chip and dark chocolate cocoa. If you don't love Munk Pack as much as our entire team does, Munk Pack will give you your money back. Go try Munk Pack keto granola bars and nut and seed bars. Go to monkpack.com and use the code Pakman for 20% off. The link is down below.